Hello, second year. Today we're going to discuss experiment 1.3, which is the spectrophotometer. The spectrophotometer is an instrument which is used for quantitative measurement of reflection or transmission property of a material as a function of its wavelength. The spectrophotometer uses prism or grating to isolate narrow wavelength ranges, and the radiant energy passes through the solution, which will either let the wavelength pass through the solution, that is, transmit through the solution, or will get absorbed by the solution. The transmitted light or the wavelength is received by a photodetector, which will transmit the light into electrical energy and will calculate the amount of light which is transmitted through the solution. This is a simple diagram of a spectrophotometer. It has a light source. It has a lens which will converge the light onto a monochromator, which is either a prism or a grating. It is usually a grating, and the specified wavelength will pass through a slit and through the solution which we are testing. And if it a little bit of the light will get absorbed, and the rest which is transmitted will be read to by a photocell, which will display a value that we can read. As I've told you, there's a light source which is usually made of incandescent tungsten iodide lamp, a monochromator which is used to isolate desired wavelength. Most commonly, it is a diffraction grating. Then there are some of fiber optics in it which control the direction of the beam. A cuvette is a small sample cell in which the solution is put in, and is a vessel used to hold liquid sample to be analyzed. It can either be made of glass, quartz, or plastic, depending on the uh, light which we are going to use, the wavelength we are going to pass through it, and a photodetector which converts light into electrical energy or electrical signals. There are two types of spectrophotometer. One is a single beam and the other is a double beam. So single beam spectrophotometer is the one that we use in our lab and is widely used. It has a relative light and intensity, and is relative light intensity is measured before and after the test sample is inserted. First, a blank cuvette is used for the transmittance to the blank, and the blank is set to 100% transmittance. Then absorbance between known standard solution and an unknown solution is compared by putting them into a formula. So if we need to find out the concentration of an unknown solution, what we'll do is we'll read the absorbance of the unknown solution, we'll read the absorbance of the standard, and we already know the concentration of a standard solution. That is why it is standard, because we know that it has a specific value. So when we put these values in the formula, we can find out the concentration of the unknown solution. The double beam is also relatively the same, but apart from the light source, everything is doubled. So there's a single light source, but there are two of all of these. There are two monochromators, there are two wavelength selectors. You can sample two solutions together. One can be a sample, the other can be standard, and you can get the results at the same time for the both of the cuvettes. That's the only difference. Now I'm going to show you how to use the spectrophotometer. Thank you. Hello, second year. Today we're going to discuss the spectrophotometer. This is an instrument which you're going to use extensively in your second year to perform different practicals. The spectrophotometer is made up of a light source, which is underneath this. With the light source, there is also something called a monochromator, which divides and selects the wavelength that you need. From the light source, light passes through the monochromator and comes into this chamber, where you will place your cuvettes. When the light enters through here, this is the light source, it passes through the cuvette and enters over here, which has passes through in here. In here is something that we call a photodetector that will that will as you say, read out how much of the light that was passing through here is absorbed and how much is transmitted through the cuvette and into the photodetector. And over here we'll find out the readings. Okay, this is the chamber. when you're performing the practical, please make sure that after you have placed your cuvettes inside, the cuvettes will be placed over here, like so. In the later practicals, I will explain to you how to properly perform this. I'm just putting in these in here just for reference. You're going to put your cuvettes in here, in this chamber, not in this one. And after you've placed it, you have to close the chamber lid. Since we are measuring the input of the light and comparing it to the transmission and absorbance, if there is any other light coming from outside, it's going to give you error in the reading, and your practical is not going to show proper results. Okay, after you close it, different practicals, different experiments, different experiments are going to need different wavelengths. So this is your wavelength selector. You can twist this knob to change the wavelength of the light that is passing through your solution. After you selected your wavelength, you're going to come to over here where your readings are. The T over here stands for transmission and the A is absorbance. What you're going to do is you're going to, after selecting the wavelength, you're going to press the 100%. The 100%, it's not going to show right now, but the 100% means that the transmission of the light that is passing through from over here to over here is 100%. It was working right now. As you can see, its transmission is about 100 and absorbance is more or less 0%. So 100% of the light that was initially coming through the bulb is passing through the cuvette and into the photodetector, and none of the light is being absorbed. It's a minute amount, but you can consider it as 100. And these are the cuvettes that you're going to use. There are different cuvettes, and there are different 2 to 3 ways that you can perform practicals on a spectrophotometer, which I'm going to explain in a further video. Thank you. Hello second year. Today we're going to discuss about micropipettes. Micropipettes are going to be your main instruments to use when taking solutions for practical or spectrophotometer. So you need to know how to use them properly. The micropipettes are of different types. They can be fixed, for example, like over here, or they can have range written over them, meaning that you can change the amount of solution that you can take. Apart from that, they can range from smaller micropipettes, meaning that they can, for example, take 20 to 200 microliter, to ones that can take up to 1000 microliters. 1000 microliter is 1 ml and 100 microliter is 0.1 ml. So you should know the conversion rates. To use the variable micropipette, you can change the readings. For example, this one says that it can be used from 20 to 200 microliter by twisting the back plunger, which will change the readings. For example, I have set this to 90 microliters, and to use this we need to attach certain tips to the microliter. This is a smaller microliter, so we'll use a smaller tip. To use the tip, don't use, just place it in front of the micropipette, and make sure that it's attached properly. After which you're going to press the black plunger. Okay, before I take this plunger and take a sample with it, I'm going to explain to you how to properly use the micropipette. There are 2 things that you can do with the plunger. It has 2 settings. One is like from over here to over here. This is a smooth, like it goes in smooth. After which you can feel a little resistance. This is the second click. You do not press it the whole way in. To take the sample, you just press it until you feel the resistance, not further than that. You place it in the solution like so, and then you release the plunger. Okay, this will give you a solution in the tip. Okay, to put the solution into the cuvette, what you're going to do is you're going to press the plunger the whole way in, even after you feel resistance, to evacuate it properly. Okay, this will in turn make sure that every particle or every solution in the micropipette is evacuated, extracted into this cuvette. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're taking the solution, you only press it until you feel the resistance, and to evacuate it properly so that no solution stays in the tip, you're going to press it the whole way in. Okay, after you have used the tip, please make sure that you do not touch it, because the solutions that you're going to be working with can be corrosive, can cause dangerous side effects to the skin. So what you're going to do is, you're going to press this button into a discarding bin. I'm going to do it on the table right now, but you're going to do it on the discarding bin by pressing this. What happens is, I'm pressing this now. So when I press it, the sheath that's over the area will push the tip off. Okay, so this was a variable micropipette. Over here you can see this is a fixed one. There's no range written on it, and when I try to twist it, it does not twist. So this is a fixed micropipette. The ones that have a larger reading, for example 100 to 1000 microliter, I've set this one to 1000 microliter, that is 1 ml. I'm going to use the larger tip. Okay, after I've attached the tip, as you can see, it's firmly attached and will not slide off. After that, as I told you, push the plunger until you feel resistance. I feel it over here. Put it in the solution, release the plunger, and the solution will come out into the tip. To place it into a cuvette or any sample area, what you're going to do is, you're going to press it the whole way in, even after you feel the resistance. This will in turn make sure that there is no solution left in the tip, and all the solution sample, because you're taking a very minute one, you don't want even a single drop to be left out. After that, you're going to press this to make sure that you discard the tip. Please do not use your hands, and while performing every practical, please make sure to have proper glovings and masks on. Thank you.